Hi. My name is Khan, and I've been trying to get into YouTube for years. Making videos seemed like fun, but it was hard to figure out what to start with. That is, until I remembered something. I had always wanted to make my own interpretations of different mythological icons, and recently I've made a pantheon for my own original world, Sandbox, made of some of my favorites from mythology. Sounds like a simple but fun project, so why not make my first video based on that? Welcome to the first part of my Pantheon of Sandbox commentary speedpaint series. Such a mouthful. Where I design and lore dump about the gods I chose to keep the balance of my weird OC planet. Since this is the first part, let's start at the beginning with the leaders of the Pantheon, Typhon and Echidna. So yeah, for those who know those names in the context of mythology, you're probably wondering, they're the leaders? How the heck did that happen? Well, to know that, we gotta start from the very beginning. Oh boy, it's creation myth time. A long time ago, this world used to be a normal Earth like our own. The key difference being that every mythological pantheon actually exists, but not making that fact well known. For a good while, all these gods were able to coexist even in such a crowded state. However, humanity started to drift away from worshipping the pantheons. While a few pantheons were still worshipped, the majority were abandoned as mere myth, in favor of more monotheistic religions. All the gods panicked, for without worship they would fade away, the universe's stability along with it. They initially believed that survival can be attained if at least one pantheon survived, and so an all-out war began amongst themselves. In the gods' infamous hubris, fueled by their desperate struggle to exist, they let their battles steamroll and scorch the very earth they were fighting over. Because of course. Luckily, the wiser of the lot took a step back from the conflict and devised a better solution. Instead of one of the pantheons surviving and taking over the world, after it's remade of course, why not make a new pantheon that is made of their best? After many auditions and considerations, a new pantheon was born, and with it the world was remade into a new one. A world where magic, monsters, and technology run free and wild, in an attempt to make gods and worship of them a beneficial fact of life. This new world would be known as Sandbox. Okay, but how'd the Dilphin Milf monsters end up as the head honchos? I'm getting to that, right now actually. During the War of the Gods, Typhon's volcano prison was destroyed, freeing the father of monsters. To the shock of every god, the daddy of all kaiju, who is best known for wanting to take the throne of the gods, did not care about the war and just fucked off to be with his wife. The fact that even Typhon didn't want any of their earth-scorching bullshit was a sobering moment and got a lot of gods to actually think if what they were doing was worth it. As time went by and the new world began to settle into its norm, Typhon and Echidna did nothing but cuddle after so long of not being together. The gods kinda forgot they were still around because they didn't really do much. That is until after the First World War ended. The First World War of Sandbox was between humans and monster folk, but luckily it ended in a peaceful truce. Typhon and Echidna were glad to hear this, but planned to just stay in bed and chill. However, Typhon heard the familiar sounds of Zeus's wrathful lightning. At this time, Zeus had somehow gotten the spot of leader of the new pantheon, making his ego skyrocket further than it already was. When he heard the war ended in a truce, thus losing a bet he had that humans would win completely, he became furious and was about to unleash a maelstrom that would undo the new world back to ashes. And then along came Typhon to kick his ass to stop it. Typhon didn't want to engage with the gods anymore, but couldn't stand by if Zeus was about to destroy the world over something everyone and everything deserves: peace. After that, the rest of the pantheon forced Zeus out as he was unfit to lead them. Before Typhon could peace out back to his cuddle cave, however, his mother, goddess of nature, declared her vote to make Typhon their new leader. To Typhon's shock, the rest agreed with her as they felt he had the blunt yet caring mindset that they needed. And that's how Typhon became the god of peace and leader of the Sandboxian pantheon. His domain inspires simply to live one's life. Negativity, hatred, and conflict may still happen, but obsessing over them is not true living. Typhon inspires his followers and others that you can simply relax and be pleasant to others, even if you aren't perfect about it. Typhon does not care what you are or what you do, so long as you bring good vibes to yourself and to others. Typhon is a very chill dude, but stern and honest, which has earned him both the respect and friendship of the rest of the Pantheon. Comes with being a good leader. He also is insanely strong, being able to take down eldritch horrors that try to sneak into this universe with relative ease. His other divine title is, of course, the Father of Monsters, a title that the monster folk especially cherish the most. He is also often called the Great Flame, in reference to his mastery of all things fire. Fire is also the perfect summation of Typhon. It is both a destructive force and one that brings a comforting warmth to those who need it. He often gets nervous that he might fuck up and make everyone hate him, including the mortals. But everyone, especially his wife, always reminds him that he's doing a great job. For his design, I wanted to give this vibe that early-gen Pokemon legendaries would have. A mythological monster of pure power that's also cuddly. One moment he could be a big sweetheart, and the next he could be nothing but snakes and fire and kickassery. It's also why he gave him a biker jacket, because everyone loves the trope of big, manly, badass, scary dude who has the biggest soft spot ever. Also, his limbs can uncoil into even more snakes. All his snakes have crazy reach and can pierce and burn even the flesh of a divine or eldritch being. I need to draw, like, these gods in action someday. Typhon alone is just gonna look awesome. Next up, of course, you can't have the father of monsters without the mother, you know? Echidna took up the role that Hera had for Zeus, the queen to the king, a secondary leader to the others. But luckily for them, Echidna isn't as bitchy as Hera was. Echidna was given the title of God of Order, as she quickly proved to be a fantastic secretary-type figure that helped her hubby keep everything running smooth. If you need Typhon's input, you're gonna need Echidna's too. Not that challenging, as the two are typically together in a walking cuddle pile. She is best wife, best co-boss, and best scarf. She's best at managing things and being there for the other gods, but isn't much for combat. She still provides great support, as her venom is divinely potent, so she'll coat the others' weapons to deal even more damage to Lovecraftian invaders. However, because of a millennia of being alone, her husband being imprisoned and all her children being slain by heroes of old, she's developed crippling separation anxiety. She can't rightly function without her hubby close by at all times. After an incident where Typhon had to leave for a god day, half a year in mortal time, where she almost Ouroboros'd herself, the goddess of magic and wisdom and the god of time teamed up to create a ring that warps the tip of Echidna's tail to wrap around Typhon's finger like a ring. Now Echidna can perform duties anywhere without worry, for she can always feel her hubby's embrace at all times. And that's that. Snake Mommy and Snake Daddy are complete, and so is the first part of my series. What did you guys think? Do you like my lore? Do you like my designs? Any gods you hope will be added later? You can actually find out which gods are next, because I'll be streaming on Picarto soon to make footage and the designs and stuff. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Yeah, like, subscribe, follow. Have a good one. Bye!